There's a fascinating controversy brewing right now around whether or not a sun bear in a zoo in China is actually a real creature or a man in a bear costume. I'll go ahead and let you form your own opinion here, because that's the beauty of being an individual with your own thoughts. Let your eyes tell you the story before I give you the real story and hit you with the cold water of the truth. So, you can see that the creature is a bit odd. It looks like something out of Spore. By far the weirdest part about it is the bear's ass. It looks like a Krabby Patty. It actually looks like Homer Simpson's lips. So this is the video that popped off. You can see him standing up, kind of sizing up the crowd, looking at everybody like he's about to go shake them down for their lunch money here. He's looking kind of menacing. He's got his mouth open, but he also just looks super sweet. Even gives like a little wave with its flippers, because it doesn't even really look like it has paws. It has like these tiny little fucking flipper things. It's adorable. Like, seeing the video, I think, makes it a little more clear that it's probably not a man in a bear costume. It's just a really weird bear. So when I first saw this story, I actually thought this was an older case, because I do remember something like this happening about a year ago, but it turns out that was just for a comedy sketch. That wasn't a real thing. This is pretty new from what I can tell, where people really thought that it was a man in a bear costume, myself included. Those pictures really do look like something that you'd find at like a furry convention, like some kind of costume somebody made. It doesn't look like a real animal. It's got more loose skin than like my elbow. Like it is a wild creature. Apparently sun bears are just the smallest bear species, so when it's standing up, it looks like just like a person. It's not, you know, some kind of hulking bear that you're used to seeing. Like, this looks like some shit out of the Berenstain Bears, right? Like, it doesn't seem like a real bear. So when I saw this, I was like, it's a cut and dry case of a man in a bear costume. This must have been a joke. But it turns out, no, this is like actually what sun bears look like and how they act. So I'm going to go ahead and play you the stream clips where I tackled this case head on, and I learned a lot about sun bears. You hear about the Chinese zoo denying the claim that one of their bears is a man in a bear costume? That's not a new story. I remember that from like a year ago. Because I've definitely seen this before. And I think it's pretty obvious that this is a man in a bear costume. Like, this is like Hank Hill level ass. Shit looks like a pack of hot dogs. No bear has a tuchus like this. That's definitely a man in a bear costume. Apparently sun bears look like that. What the fuck is a sun bear? Sounds like some kind of mythical creature out of Dark Souls. Maybe a sun bear costume. Well, okay. Because it looks like they do pack the same ass. Shit's out here looking like grill marks. It's just the same guy. There's no such thing as a sun bear. It's just a couple of guys that have a costume, and it fooled the zoologists into thinking it was a real animal. They got weird tongues. Weird, well, really weird everything. But I don't know, even still, this face doesn't look natural. I mean, we just looked at its tongue, and the tongue, like, was, like, hanging way out to here, basically. I don't know. I'm not convinced. This is convincing. This angle. Why would they lie? I don't know. Just to see if they could... Just see if they could, I guess. Sun bears, the smallest bear species in the world, are generally the size of a large dog. Oh, wow. The folds help protect the bears from predators as the looseness allows the bear to turn around in their skin and fight back if a large animal like a tiger were to get a hold of them. You're telling me there's an evolutionary purpose to all these fucking ass folds? That's wild. And it's got like sea lion flippers. Like, it's like the most incomprehensibly smart thing ever, but at the same time super fucking stupid with the solutions that it finds. How are we gonna protect us? Just give it a lot of ass skins, so that way if something bites our ass we can move around a little bit. What about horseshoe crabs? There's so many fucking creatures out there that have just been condemned, forsaken by evolution. Like the, What's the actual name of the blobfish? It's a really embarrassing species. But the reason it looks so gross and looks like a goofy face when you bring it up to the surface is because it literally implodes. So like as you take it out from its like high pressure environment, it just implodes. But that one's pretty embarrassing. Evolution did it dirty. A lot of sea creatures are like that. There's one that's called the pinnacle of evolution, the perfect species, because it hasn't evolved for like actually 20 million years or something crazy. It's the what is it? The something worm? Hagfish, not a worm. Hagfish, yeah. This thing. And not because it's like perfect, like you're not about to see handsome Squidward or anything. The reason it hasn't evolved is because it just literally doesn't need to. It found the perfect solution for its environment. So this is the hagfish. And what it does is it's just this gross looking little worm thing that when it's either threatened or anything like that, it just excretes really, really thick slime. Super slimes. It just Nickelodeon slime times whatever's after it, and it clogs up its mouth and it kills whatever attacked it. The slime gets clogged up like in their gills and everything, and they die. It's not worth killing, and it's such a fucking hassle, and it's actually really adept at surviving. All because it can super slime. Got a little sidetracked with hagfish once again, as is known to happen. Hagfish are a remarkable species of bewilderment. But back on the topic of sun bears. So, it is a real sun bear from everything I can tell. You know, of course, I'm not a fucking zoologist here. I can't say beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's a sun bear for sure and not a man in a bear costume. But based on everything that I read and everything I researched, it's most likely a real sun bear. But I really love to suspend disbelief for a moment here and play with the idea that it's actually a man in a bear costume. What would be the goal? Let's start looking at this in a philosophical way and start speculating. If it is a man in a bear costume, or if it was a man in a bear costume, what could they possibly gain from that? Well, I've been racking my brain on it. So let's picture a dystopia where most animals are extinct, right? We're losing tons of animals all the time. There's a lot of species that are on the brink of the extinction. So let's just toy with the idea that all of them go extinct. Like that famous streamer clip, The government's lying to us, the aliens aren't talking to us, the animals are leaving. All the animals leave, right? So now we've got nothing left. That's very bad for business at zoos. So, what if they spent a lot of resources and a lot of time developing very convincing costumes that look realistic enough to fool us into thinking we're looking at the legitimate species? So when there's no animals left, they can still fill zoo exhibits with, people in costumes that'll work part-time when the zoo's open and then, go home. They'll clock in, clock out in their costume, right? So it's species you're used to seeing in zoos, bears, giraffes, and all of that, and the costumes are really convincing, and maybe there's animatronic components to it, and this was their first attempt at trying to slip it in there to see if they were at a point where they could fool us with the costume. I don't think that's the case, but what if? What if it was? This was their first foray into like a alpha test, seeing if the prototype's good enough to get people speculating on if it's a real bear or not, or if it's convincing enough that everyone assumes it's just a real sun bear. It's just an interesting thought experiment. What could be the goal if it is a man in a bear costume? And that's the only conclusion I can come up with. Of course, it is not a man in a bear costume. It is most likely a very real sun bear. But who knows? You can't trust anyone. Not even bears. So, yeah, I just thought this was a fun little topic to go over briefly. That's really about it. See ya. I'm sure by now all of you have heard of dead internet theory. I don't think I need to really dive into what it means, but fundamentally, it boils down to the idea that the things and the people that you see or interact with online aren't actually real, it's bots, and upcoming AI. Now, Meta has just publicly announced that they are doing their best to make dead internet theory not just a theory, but the reality. They proudly announced like it's a Jeff Keighley world premiere that they will be flooding, really, their platforms with AI-generated users that will share AI slop with the humans that are still left in those plagued wastelands. This isn't some wacky conspiracy that some snot-nosed, paint-huffing weirdo cooked up randomly. This is an actual upcoming change that Meta themselves announced. We're getting this fart straight from the butt, the source. I talked about it for quite a while on stream last night. I'll show you some clips of that, but I've been thinking about it a lot ever since because the question kept coming up in stream, why would they even announce this? What is it for? Like, what are they actually even hoping to achieve through flooding their platform with fake users? Because it is such an odd concept of something to be proud of. It clearly runs counter to what the whole idea of social media was supposed to be. A way of connecting to others and experiencing the world through information and content from others. It's social media, but this is becoming more programmed media. So I thought about it some more, and I think I have some more theories on beyond the obvious of like bigger number equal more money, and also being able to control the narrative through just brute forcing a narrative with a bunch of bot accounts that people might not be able to tell if it's AI or actual human beings. I think there are a couple more things that they're hoping to achieve through having the platform be bots. Why would Meta admit to using AI? Well, because these companies view it as a really positive thing. This isn't like some kind of dark secret to them. They're proud about it. So, their vision is drumming up engagement on their platforms through AI accounts. So what they want to do is fill it with AI-generated characters. They want to fill it with profiles and bios that will all be sharing AI-generated content with its users to the point where people won't know if they're communicating with a person or AI. And they are so out of touch that they view that as a really good thing for their platform. So we expect the AI to actually, over time, exist on our platform kind of in the same way that accounts do, according to the vice president. They'll have bios and profiles, profile pics, and be able to generate and share content powered by AI on the platform. That's where we see all this going, which is like the worst possible direction for anything to go. So the internet is going to be a wasteland full of bots rather than 50% bots. Nothing changes. No, I mean a lot changes, actually. Right now, I've quoted this a lot, and I can't even remember the official source anymore. It's been so long, but the last estimates from how much of the internet is occupied by bots versus humans was something like 60% is bots. So you're more likely than not interacting with a complete, not real person anytime you're talking to somebody online, and the content you're consuming is coming from something instead of someone. Can someone explain why? So, I'm going to be honest, I don't really see how they view it positively, but the benefit they will get is by having all of these AI accounts, their engagement numbers are going to be much higher, which is going to drive the value of their companies up. By being able to boast more users and boast more engagement and keep people glued to the platform, it's going to make the investors more satisfied. It's going to make things on their end more profitable. I think one of the big things that they're not going to say here, but I think one of the big things they want to do is through these AI accounts, which they will obviously have full control over, they can kind of change the narrative around anything they want. For example, Meta doing some weird bad shit and people start talking about it, well, they can have all of these bots accounts that now inhabit the platform start spamming really meta positive shit and debunking the stuff that's critical of Meta. So through all of these AI accounts, they can kind of drip feed what they want for whatever narrative they want. Because they'll be able to boost those numbers up super high and start burying the real ones. Which is something you already see that used to happen a lot on Reddit. I think it happens just as much, but they made this big thing about how they're combating it, but I think it still happens just as much on Reddit and Twitter. So I think that's kind of like one of their big things. But the main thing they're boasting is that it's just going to be really good for engagement with fake accounts. One idea that I only briefly fondled the sack of was the concept that the AI could also be used as a tool by these platforms to keep people hooked on their drug, keep them trapped on there through fake interactions. So let's take a hopeless loser, for example, someone that is just unlovable. It's a guy who's a Jack Doherty fan. They freak out at fast food workers if they feel their large fry isn't filled to the brim. They call their own mother a femoid. Just someone that doesn't have anyone in their life, and they go on Instagram. Sure, there's no doubt this homunculus will doom scroll some reels for a little while, but after a period of not getting any interaction with anyone or anything, they'll leave and just go be lonely elsewhere. But now imagine when this rolls out, Meta's going to have all of these AI accounts that are going to be interacting with someone like this. So now you take that same troglodyte, and now you have him make a post that instead of getting 0 likes, now gets 20 likes from these seemingly real-looking accounts that are all AI. And he'll click on them, and he might not know they're AI because they're going to have their own profile pics, they're going to have their own bios, they're going to have their own posts that are not real, but it's going to be convincing enough that it is. So now all of a sudden, this guy who's got nobody has AI that's interacting with him on this Instagram platform, and it's going to make him more likely to stay on there and interact and engage with it. So they're going to retain people longer through this program because it'll give someone like this the sense that they're connecting with someone. So they're going to be more likely to want to stick around because now they are getting interaction. They are getting some kind of engagement out of it. This guy isn't going to have anyone naturally talk to him. No breathing human being with a pulse is going to speak to a guy like this. But AI can. I have no doubt these AI accounts will also be DMing users. So you'll have this guy get a message from Phil Cheeseburger that'll say something like, "Brother, I just saw your most recent post. That is so insightful. I never stopped to think about that. You're right. 2D waifus are better than 3D cringe." And now we've got this loser who's now interacting with Phil, who he thinks is a real person. They're talking back and forth. And now you've got this guy on your platform longer through a complete fake connection that has been made thanks to these AI accounts. He's seeing ads from your advertising partners more often because now he's more intertwined with this ecosystem of bots. Like what I'm getting the impression of that Meta is creating is an ecosystem that doesn't need humans on it. It's making a network of AI that hopes to keep humans on there through all of this phony baloney shit. It's so sad. Like, it is so dystopian, and I know that word's lost so much meaning, but this really is a dystopian step. It's craziness. Let's just keep playing around with this for a moment. So this loser now has Phil, and he's got some other AI accounts that are reaching out to him as well. He's got, George Hamhawk that's saying similar things. And over time, as he's like connecting with these AI that he might not even be aware is AI, I imagine that's going to be a thing where people are going to be confused on if they're communicating with someone real or a fake AI account. But over time, these AI accounts will start maybe subtly influencing the way that this loser thinks through AI, drip feeding the narrative that the platform wants the users to be fed. So they can help control, like subtly brainwash people through all of these AI accounts. It is a really fascinating and fucking terrifying concept for a platform that is just going to openly flood its users with AI accounts. Because it's preying on people, like their desire to not be alone. Like, I think, at least with this concept I'm toying with. Because, again, nobody likes to post something and have 0 people see it, and Meta knows that. And the solution to that problem is to have fake people see it and pretend that people are seeing it. So now they're creating that feeling of, I'm being seen. And then they start connecting with those bots, and it just spirals so out of control, and it is a horrifying future. Why would any advertising agency buy into that? I don't know. I actually don't know. Like, to me, you're being very open that you're just going to flood it with AI fake engagement. Thus, those new numbers aren't going to translate to more sales for your advertising partners. So to me, it just seems like you're defrauding them, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Fake customers are fake customers. Yeah, but fake customers aren't buying it. AI is not going to be purchasing a waifu statue. Like, it's not going to lead to more sales for their advertising partners, even though the price of their advertisements is going to go up because the engagement numbers have gone up. I thought of it more as fake customers leaving good reviews on stuff so real customers will buy it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's very possible. Instead of paid shills, they could just do AI shills, which would save them money. Now scammers no need to operate their own bots, just use AI. That's already happening. AI bots and everything are already very prevalent. I'm sure some of you have already seen them around in like YouTube comment sections. This is just the first company that's just being forthright, letting you know the whole platform's going to be infested. Yep, United Healthcare uses AI to deny claims. I did see that. AI is being utilized in a lot of different sectors right now. The AI topic is one that stretches into every possible discussion because it is technology that will be in every single sector. It's going to be everywhere. There's a lot of people that naysay it and poo-poo on that, like I understand, but you're wrong. AI is going to be used by every corporation in every single industry to some degree. Some worse than others that is going to be using to outright just replace jobs. Just do their best to get rid of workers because it's going to be cheaper to not have to pay them and just use AI instead. Which is something I and everyone else on the planet has been discussing pretty much fucking daily since this technology's been evolving so rapidly. But now, it's not just replacing jobs, it's literally replacing humans on social media platforms. I mean it when I say there is nothing that is safe from AI. Not even just, like, it's faking being a person now. Like, Meta is making a push for AI to just outright replace humans in general on social media. Like, that's not even a job of just shitposting while on the toilet, and yet it's still going to be trying to take that. It's actual insanity. So yeah, I just had to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So yeah. What are your thoughts about the whole eclipse situation on April 8th? So many political and biblical theorists are going nuts about it. What the fuck are you talking about? What kind of... Like, I understand maybe going, like, rapture for that, like, going down that path. We've seen that before. But what do you mean political theorists are going nuts over the eclipse? What could that possibly be in a political sense? What do you mean? That sounds like some absolute made-up nonsense on TikTok. How the eclipse ties into the Clintons or something. Bro, I work at a hospital and we're planning for it like it's the apocalypse. That is so concerning to hear. You work in a place of science. Why would you be planning for an eclipse like it's about to be doomsday? What? Okay, is there something special about the April 8th eclipse? What's happening? Is the Fire Nation about to attack with Sozin's comet? Like, I'm so confused. What? It doesn't even seem like it's particularly special. I mean, here's what not to do during the total eclipse on April 8th. Total solar eclipse on April 8th. Millions of people from Texas to Maine preparing for a once-in-a-lifetime event that want to ensure they enjoy it safely. Total solar eclipse happens when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, completely blocking the sun's face for up to several minutes. Do not look directly at the sun. You don't fucking say, huh? Except for the lucky people in the path of totality, it is not safe to look directly at the sun without proper eye protection, and sunglasses won't cut it. To safely view the total solar eclipse in 2024, you'll need glasses with solar filters, also known as eclipse glasses, or with handheld solar viewers. According to the American Astronomical Society, those glasses or handheld solar viewers need to meet the ISO 123122 international standard for direct sun viewing. Only when the sun is covered completely will it be safe to remove eclipse glasses, and they must go back on before the partial eclipse resumes and portions of the sun become visible again. Even if clouds obstruct your view during the April 8th total solar eclipse, special glasses or handheld viewers still need to be used. Cloud cover is not enough to protect your eyesight from the sun's rays. Classic fucking deep state trying to prevent me from getting superpowers from staring directly at this total solar eclipse. I'm not going to let the government dictate what I do and do not wear when looking directly at the sun. TikTok wasn't around in 2017, so we didn't get all the brain rot eclipse takes. Can someone, to the guy who said there's a lot of political theories regarding this total solar eclipse, can you send me one? Like tweet me one real quick so I can take a peek? Because what in the world? How, I don't understand. I can't even wrap my noodle around how that could make any sense. Employees at my dad's workplace said their local priest told them that the eclipse will result in 3 days of darkness, which is what allegedly starts the apocalypse. See, like, that kind of stuff I get. That happens all the time, anytime there's a solar eclipse. Like, there was that radio host who convinced his followers that rapture was coming in a month, so everyone quit their job, bought an RV, and went on a road trip and waited for themselves to die, be taken to heaven. And it didn't happen, and the radio host was like, damn. Must have got some wires crossed, I guess. Like, that happens all the time. Big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. You know how much I love Opera GX. If you ever tune into any of my streams, you'll see Opera GX exclusively being used because it's the browser I use for everything. I think it is the best in the business. It has tons of fun customization features to really make it feel like your own. It has a ton of really useful tools like a built-in ad blocker, which really comes in handy with the modern landscape of the internet, which is basically unusable without an ad block. And it has a lot of other really helpful tools, such as the ability to import your current settings from whatever browser you're currently using into Opera seamlessly, which makes it super simple, super seamless. Just very great browser all around. It's also very light, so it's not going to be tanking your performance if you're playing games while having Opera open. You can keep all of your messaging apps in the Opera browser, so it's nice and convenient. Also, there is a mod for me in there. I have my own Opera GX mod, and it gives you a wallpaper and some really fun themed sounds around myself. Yeah, baby! So yep. I think it's good fun. The Critical Moist mod goes pretty hard. Again, big thanks to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. Definitely check them out in the description. Remember when the world was supposed to end in 2012? Yeah, but at least that one had, like, historical backing because of the Mayan calendar. I remember being a stupid kid back then, and I was like, man, the world really might end. Like, I get that. You go back and look at the Mayan calendar. They were very smart people. The calendar ends here. It must mean that's when the world ends. Pack it up, I guess. I was a freshman in college during that point, and I was still a virgin, and I was like, damn, it's gonna suck dying a virgin. I did everything I could to make love before that day came, the day of judgment. I used to go out every weekend praying for the best. But when that day rolled around in December of 2012, I spent that day playing Halo 4 with a buddy of mine, knowing that if I'm sailing into Valhalla, it's going to be in the saddest manner possible. The eclipse is just Joe Biden's domain expansion. That's why there's political theories. Yeah, it's Dark Brandon. He's casting his infinite Tsukiyomi. So fucking cool. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the level of the political theories on it. Oh wait, there was more to this. Solar eclipse travel could be treacherous. What, like driving at night? Like driving in some darkness? For those living in the narrow path of totality, little if any travel will be necessary to take in the full astronomical event. However, people across the US and likely the world will descend upon communities that aren't used to the popularity, and that has officials concerned. So much so that cities and towns have issued disaster declarations or declared states of emergency, while others have decided to close schools due to the expected increase in traffic and to keep kids safe from distracted drivers during dismissal time. I see. So this is why your hospital's prepping. Anticipating a bunch of fucking brain-dead zombies are just going to be too busy looking up at the sky and flooding areas that have like a totality view of it and just causing a ruckus and getting themselves hurt. I see now. You and the boys should make a video on who can look at the sun the longest during the eclipse. Actually, that's such a good idea. You know what we should do? We should do perineum tanning for it. That's the taint greasing, not taint greasing, the taint sunbathing, where you put your legs over your head and have your balls and shit facing the sun. I bet you'd get a crazy boost in testosterone from a total solar eclipse blasting you. Should have you be like the Hulk from gamma radiation or something. The sperm would go blind. Yeah, it'd be so powerful. I'm in the direct path, and certain drive-ins and movie theaters are holding little tailgating events. I like how we're talking about it like it's a fucking asteroid hurtling towards Earth. I'm in the direct path, meaning I'm in a really good spot to look up at the sky. Well, that's cute, though. That actually sounds wholesome. Please look up the red heifer cows. That's the issue. Wait, I actually know that. I actually know a little bit about that. What does it have to do with the eclipse? I keep seeing people tripping about the eclipse and some red cow sacrifices. Some dude in Texas claiming to be a Christian sending cows to Israel for a Jewish sacrifice to usher on the rebuilding of the Third Temple. Pardon? I checked into it. Here are my thoughts if you care to listen. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm no expert. Can you even really be an expert on sacrificing red cows? It's nothing to be concerned with. There will be an eclipse and some extremists are going to kill some cows. If you're a conspiracy theorist and a Christian that was concerned, don't be. No man is going to get Jesus Christ to return. Only the Father will tell him when it's time. Nobody knows. So are we trying to summon Jesus? Is that what's going on? Like a ritual during the eclipse? Sacrificing red cows? No, this summons the Antichrist. Huh? No. Isn't the Antichrist I think it's like a week before Doomsday or something, and it's supposed to be like a really powerful person presents himself, gains a lot of influence really quickly, and he's the Antichrist who ushers it all in or something. I don't think it has anything to do with the red heifer. So does this happen every eclipse and we just don't know about it? Great question, I don't know. They're actually doing it, look it up. Well, I have no doubt there's probably some people sacrificing red cows. Like that, I totally believe there's some craziness afoot with that. As we await... Oh, this happens every time. Yeah, wait, this is from 2017. As we await the eclipse of 2017 AD, this post examines the possibility that the dramatic repentance of... Yeah. So it looks like this does happen on every single eclipse. My mom told me to call off on eclipse day and get as much food and necessities as I can because she thinks there's going to be no light. It's like... I don't know, that's kind of cute. Like, I can't even fault her for that. That's just kind of cute, I guess. But I mean, we conquered the darkness already. We have the technology. So let's just assume the eclipse for some reason takes away all natural light. Brother, half the people in this stream right now haven't seen natural light in years because we have fucking light technology in our house. We'd be okay. We'd make it. But what about the plants? Fuck them. Who needs them? We conquered nature too. We'll eat... We'll find an alternative. We'll eat I don't know, filter feed or some shit. I don't know. We'd find something.
With the fact that God created our universe. I mean, their symbol does have 3 sixes in it. And you guys remember the symbol I talked about earlier?
Oh.
This comes from their opening ceremony. You may be wondering, what even is that? As that is the head of the Baphomet. As you can see, it is a satanic symbol. The big question is, why would they have that at their opening ceremony?
Does CERN have opening ceremonies like it's the Olympics or something? What? I didn't know that. That's news to me. That opening ceremony looks out of this world, though. Is that the particle accelerator people were tripping over and saying that'll open a hole to another dimension or something? You're right and wrong. You're just getting a couple of different things confused. So when the LHC first got operational, there was a doomsday theory that by colliding particles at such a rapid speed, there was a small chance of creating a penny-sized black hole, which could eventually swallow the world. But that turned out to be a bunch of hullabaloo. As an engineer, it'd be so freaking sick if we were summoning demons or hopping dimensions or whatever, and not just calibrating sensors for hours. Yeah, I'd be happy to hear about that kind of stuff, different dimensions and shit. I feel like anyone would be excited about that. I don't know. We look at it as a bad thing. So what? A couple demons come through or something. We just close a portal on them. They don't have the technology in hell, clearly. And it confirmed the existence of hell, which would be a net positive for everyone, I would think. Then we'd know. Open my third asshole. Well, you're a little confused, but you've got the right spirit. That's a scientific mind right there. But anyway, come April 8th, get ready. The eclipse is coming and you can't stop it. And CERN's opening a portal on it or something. Have you looked into the Project Bluebeam conspiracy? After the Pentagon, and now it's that mothership, the theorists have gone wild. Fuck. I have looked at it and I totally forgot. I've looked at so many conspiracies recently. Is Project Bluebeam the one that's back to mind control? Trying to pick up where MK Ultra left off. Is that Bluebeam? No, that one's not Bluebeam. Let me look it up. I definitely have looked it up before, but I can't remember exactly which one this is. Oh, it's to create the next Jesus, the artificial second coming. That's what it was. Yeah. So the idea behind Project Bluebeam was to somehow create like a revival of Christ type situation to spread a new religion across Earth. Thanks to give sub Bana in the resub whatever Imperial and Ashley. Do you believe in any conspiracies? Only a couple. The most notable one is Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, but that's not even a conspiracy. That's just like legitimately the fucking truth. The other conspiracies are like really minor ones, like beef jerky being a scam and shit. How is beef jerky a scam? Every time I mention that, people always hit me with like question marks. I made a whole video breaking down the beef jerky conspiracy. Well, hey, now this is fucked up. I am not wrong about beef jerky. I made great points. In a nutshell, beef jerky is extremely expensive for actual 2 or 3 tiddlywinks worth of jerky. If you were to make the jerky yourself, you would get more and it would cost less. Buying prepackaged beef jerky from any of the major jerky players is an actual fucking scam. It is overpriced, you get nothing for it, it's a scam. You're being gouged. Thanks, Risa, Boston, and Frosty, and the Prime Infi. They either need to increase the amount of jerky per package or decrease the price. Those are the only 2 options. That's all food and services? Not at all, actually. When it comes to, like, snack foods, I actually think you get so much bang for your buck. I have, like, a fucking 6-pound thing of Raisin Bran I got for, like, $2, if that. Meanwhile, jerky, for less than 3 ounces worth of jerky, it's $8. 8 fucking bucks. 8 smackaroos. Something's not adding up. Yeah, because no one eats Raisin Bran. It was just a quick example. Look at any cereal. You know, here. How much is the same poundage of Captain Crunch? If I wanted a full big whammy of Captain Crunch, it's $4.78. Or, in fact, if I want to go to Walmart instead of Target, it's $3.81. And that's got like 18,000 servings worth of Captain Crunch in there. And it is literally half, more than half, or yeah, less than half of beef jerky, ish. It doesn't make sense. Beef jerky is a scam, but it's not meat. That's fine. I actually did another comparison. If you were to buy, what's that sausage brand? The one that makes the little wieners? Not Oscar Mayer. It has like the farmer on the front and he's like tipping his hat. Who the fuck is it? Is it Duke? I don't think it's Duke. Let me see. I can't remember. Then we'll just do a different one. Slim Jims. Slim Jims are meat as well. And a Slim Jim, a big Slim Jim costs you... let's do Walmart price. Keep everything consistent. Big Slim Jim costs you $3. Or if you want like a 26 pack, it's $6. A 26 pack of Slim Jims, which is also meat, is $6, which is still cheaper than the 2 little fucking morsels of beef jerky you'd get in like a Jack Link's. Slim Jims are barely meat. Yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Slim Jim guy, to be fair. But it was just a quick meat snack example. Point is, beef jerky as a meat snack is dreadfully overpriced for very, very, very little product. It's one of the few conspiracies I subscribe to. Wholeheartedly. There's an actual beef jerky outlet by me, and their bags are going for 25 to 45 bucks. Oh, if you're talking about artisanal jerky, that's a whole new can of worms. There was a jerky spot, I can't remember the name of it, that I used to go to from time to time a while back, and it was pretty good. And the price like actually reflected the amount of jerky you'd get. You get like an entire fucking slab for I don't know, a little bit more than Jack Link's pitiful little containers. It's really just the big boys that fuck you. Do you think the government controls the weather? Nah, I don't think we're at Geostorm levels yet. We don't have Buc-ee's here, so I don't know that jerky. I don't know what they're selling out there at Buc-ee's. People have been able to manipulate the weather for hundreds of years at least. Brother, doing a rain dance isn't scientifically efficient for summoning rain. Now, if you want to talk about something about how they can kind of, like, influence clouds, like that, I don't remember what it's called, but they do some shit like that, but it's still not fully controlling the weather. Thanks to the resub Pluto. Cloud seeding? Is that what it's called? Is it called cloud seeding? Let me see. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Cloud seeding is a type of weather modification to change the amount or type of precipitation. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Charlie, do your research. On rain dances, brother, I'm telling you right now, I promise, no amount of research outside of, like, your unhinged Facebook groups is going to confirm a rain dance has ever actually summoned rain. Now, if we're talking about, like, real shit, like cloud seeding, yeah. Then, yeah, for sure. But that's still not fully controlling the weather. How do you feel about AI technology? Oh man, I've spent many a stream going over AI tech. I'm sure stream's tired of hearing me talk about AI. I follow everything AI related when it comes to like that technology advancing. That shit's crazy. Thick for sure, Tori. Though I don't consume jerky at all anymore. Because it's a scam. You want to see the most convincing alien abduction story? Look up Travis Walton. Let me make sure this isn't just some kind of troll and this Travis Walton guy's not doing some shady shit. The Travis Walton UFO incident. Okay, let's take a peek. Crazy how we went from jerky to alien abductions so quick. So here he is on Joe Rogan. Where's like a breakdown of his claims? Decoding the Unknown made a whole video on it. Where's the cliff notes?
Universe, the phenomenon is real.
So they came here and took Travis in particular? Why him? What did he have that the rest of us don't? So what makes it so credible? It said it's one of the most heavily documented alien abductions. Is it because he had 6 of his crew members around and they couldn't find him? And they all claimed a giant blue light? 100% a bad drug trip? Well, I haven't heard the whole story yet, but I suppose that could be an option. Watch the Rogan interview. Well, I guess I imagine the Rogan interview is going to be a lot like his other interviews, just kind of prodding at like the current and touching on the past. I was just kind of hoping like for a full breakdown with the so-called heavily documented experience. So I would have liked to hear from like the witnesses and all that, but I don't feel like watching the entire fucking Discovery Plus thing on it, at least not tonight. He's Risa Lactose. You could just read the wiki. Oh, true, I guess. Let me see. He has his own wiki. The Travis Walton UFO incident. In 1964, during a hypnosis session, Barney Hill told his psychiatrist a story about having been abducted by aliens. Modern psychiatric consensus is that Hill experienced false memory syndrome, in which therapy methods such as hypnosis lead to confabulations. I haven't heard that word in years. Confabulations. That's such a fucking good word. Thanks to the resub, Jonald and Uwe Bowl. On October 20th, 1975, NBC Network aired the UFO Incident, a made-for-TV movie inspired by The Hills, starring James Earl Jones. The film aired 2 weeks before the Travis Walton UFO incident, which led cognitive psychologist Susan Clancy to argue that this film influenced Travis Walton to present his own alleged abduction story. Walton's account shares commonality with other alien abduction claims that are made after such stories appear in films and on TV. Clancy noted the general rise in alien abduction claims following the showing of the UFO incident and cites Class's conclusions that after viewing this movie, any person with a little imagination could now become an instant celebrity, concluding that one of those instant celebrities was Travis Walton, which is something we've seen time and time again. So it's certainly plausible. According to Walton and a number of other members from the logging crew, on November 5th, 1975, he was working with a timber stand improvement crew in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest near Snowflake, Arizona. Snowflake, Arizona, huh? While riding in a truck with 6 of his coworkers, they allegedly encountered a saucer-shaped object hovering over the ground approximately 110 feet away, making a high-pitched buzz. Walton says that after he left the truck and approached the object, a beam of light suddenly appeared from the craft and knocked him unconscious. The other 6 men were frightened and supposedly drove away. Walton says he awoke in a hospital-like room being observed by 3 short, bald creatures. He says that he fought with them until a human wearing a helmet led Walton to another room, where he blacked out as 3 other humans put a clear plastic mask over his face. Walton has said that he remembers nothing else until he found himself walking along a highway 5 days later with the flying saucer departing above him. Thanks to the resub, Drain Me and Bree. Just getting the cliff notes here, I gotta tell you, calling this the most compelling evidence of a real UFO abduction is quite a leap. In the days following Walton's UFO claims, National Enquirer awarded Walton and his coworkers $5,000 prize for Best UFO Case of the Year, after they were said to have passed polygraph tests administered by the Enquirer and the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization. Walton, his older brother, and his mother were described by the Navajo County, Arizona sheriff as longtime students of UFOs. UFOologist Jim Ledwith said, "For 5 days the authorities thought he'd been murdered by his coworkers and then he returned. All of the coworkers who were there, who saw the spacecraft, they took polygraph tests and they all passed except for one, and that one was inconclusive." Speaking of inconclusive, there's a reason why polygraph tests aren't exactly the gold standard. But at least I got $5,000. That's something. These are some Simplici and the Prime Goblin and Domino. These wild Travis abductors copied the movie Aliens. Well, maybe the movie just got it right. Oh man, he's even getting blasted by UFO researchers. UFO researcher Philip J. Klass agreed Walton's story was a hoax perpetrated for financial gain, identified many discrepancies in the accounts of Walton and his co-workers. After investigating the case, Klass reported that polygraph tests were poorly administered and that Walton had used polygraph countermeasures such as holding his breath, and that Klass uncovered an earlier failed test administered by an examiner who concluded the case involved gross deception. Oof. Eek. So that's how you pass polygraph test, noted. Well, I mean, there's a couple different ways. I guess holding your breath's one of them. Travis Walton is actually an actor. I couldn't tell you. Maybe he is. No idea. Do you hear about the fires going on in Maui? Yeah. And I've seen a lot of the conspiracies. They're fucking incredible. There's not a small number of people that think that it's space lasers and that the fire isn't real because the trees aren't burned to the ground. It's incredible. It's so good. I think we are legitimately in the end game of intelligence. I think give it 5 more years and we will actually be the dumbest we have ever been. Like as a whole, like as a unit. We've reached our great filter. Actually, though. Like, I know everyone says that as a meme, but all of those conspiracies about, like, it being a space laser starting the fires in Maui because it's part of the 15-minute city agenda, it's shocking how far intelligence has regressed. Well, it's not even intelligence. It's the inability to think for yourself. Or to think in general, I guess. Oh, you guys don't know the 15-minute city agenda? That's a fun one. That's a fucking great one. This is like the new boogeyman. I don't even know where to start with bringing this one up. In a nutshell, though, the argument is they believe that the government is working to burn down our houses or basically demolish our living, take away our cars, and move us all into like a densely packed city, and that way they can control us better. Fundamentally. Depending on who you ask about the 15-minute city agenda. So what they're saying is the Maui fires were started so they could burn down the homes and take away their cars and rebuild in a densely packed city, part of the 15-minute city agenda. I saw two tweets that said this was caused by lasers that got 30k likes. I know. It's nuts. It's actually incredible. Do they at least have video proof? Nope. What they have, you'll see in most of the posts, is a picture of a building on fire with like a geo fucking storm laser blasting at the top of it. That's their proof. Thanks, Risa Banana and Eliza. At least that's the one I saw circulating last night. That shit was great. They'll believe what they want to be true no matter the lack of evidence. Well, that's what I've always said. It's just a matter of believing something because you want to, not because, like, it's compelling. Have you considered the possibility that it was the mole people from Tartaria? If you made a post and accused the mole people, like if you just photoshopped like mole people into the fires somewhere with like a can of gasoline, you would get 40k updates. And you'd have so many people saying, I knew it. People literally use random notepads as evidence. With the woman who had the airplane freak out, there was a post circulating with like 30k likes where it was literally just written in WordPad, or not WordPad. What's the app on the phone? Notes. It was literally written in notes, like formatted like it was supposed to be a CIA doc that just said, test successful. What the fuck was it? Place humanoid in public position, see if anyone notices, disguise protocol, that kind of shit. And people started circulating that as proof that it was actually a fake person on that aircraft, and she was right. As long as there's just a picture, even if it's the most outrageously bad Photoshop or just actually nothing, such as a notepad statement, people believe it. It's incredible. It's incredible. The concept of fake news has ruined society. Which is crazy to think because it's a legitimately good thing to be aware of, that you need to approach most things with skepticism because you can't just blindly trust everything. Like, it's a good lesson to teach people, but it gets taken to the extreme where they don't trust anything that doesn't conform to what they want to believe. So they'll go out of their way for confirmation bias to find the most outrageous shit with the weakest evidence ever to confirm their beliefs. So the distrust gets blown to the absolute extreme. Yeah, I've got Ultimate Top 8 on up here. I'm watching the buzz right now. What an incredible tournament he's having. Oh, I haven't watched the new CompuZilla on SBF yet. I will, though. I'm very interested to see what's happening with all that shit. I had the most insane debate with this guy saying that when men cheat, it's out of love, and he was acting like it was some scientific analysis. Ah. A debate, bro, eh? That's always a fun one. Everything's a debate as well. That's the current climate of society. Even something as indefensible as just cheating. They're like, well, actually, no, there's a good reason for this. There's actually nothing wrong with cheating, and here's why. You play basketball today? Nope, it's Thursdays. We're trying to start doing 2 days a week, though, so eventually we'll start doing 2 days a week. Wow, the buzz just did it. Nope, that didn't kill. I hope I didn't just curse him. Nope, now he did it. Wow, he popped off so hard he took down the stream for a second. Thanks, Resub Delicious. It's a TV show and it's very, very good. Oh, I'll check it out. No, I haven't heard of it. What's the poster covering your mini fridge? Plague Seeker. My comic book, one of them. We have that and Godslap. Have you seen Boogie pep talk his girlfriend for no reason? I don't know what you're referring to. I just don't understand why he's always posting pictures of his girlfriend and posting about his girlfriend and then making really weird posts in reference to his girlfriend. I don't get it. But it's not just Boogie. I don't understand why people do that in general. It's just very odd. Thanks to Prime Admiral. What's your favorite conspiracy theory? I already made a whole video about it. It's the Secret Space Force. Or Secret Space Program. It is a conglomeration of every possible unhinged belief rolled into one. Oki has an incredible video on it. The Secret Space Program is an absolute banger of a conspiracy. Thanks to Resub Obese. Is that the one with the trained Mars fighters? Yeah. Well, not just that. They also have vampires, werewolves, shapeshifters, and they're actually spun off from when World War II happened and the Nazis went to space and kidnapped them. I wouldn't even know where to begin with the Secret Space Program. It's incredible. That conspiracy is unrivaled. Thanks to the Resub Nut and the Prime Links. It sounds like Red Orchestra. It's whatever you want it to be. That's the beauty of the Secret Space Program. It can actually be legitimately anything. So like when Oki went in, he went undercover and he had the community believing his story that he totally made up about being like an intergalactic samurai. It's just fanfic, but on a bigger scale. What's the one with the spoon bending and she used her hand? Oh, in the video? Yeah, that I don't think, no, that wasn't the Secret Space Program. That was a different thing that Oki went to. I don't believe she was a Secret Space Program telepathy user. Or telekinesis user. My favorite conspiracy is Escape Planet Earth. It's a group of people who believe that the Earth is trapped in a giant cage that surrounds the entire Earth. All they talk about is how they could possibly escape. I don't know that one, but it sounds kind of derivative of Flat Earth, where they believe that the Earth is surrounded by an ice wall that no one's been able to get past. And they really want to get past the ice wall. Flat Earth lore goes hard sometimes. God, it does, yeah. Flat Earth lore is so entertaining. Thanks, resub, your boy. How do you think we escape the era of misinformation? You don't. It's just people, like, no matter how much real info you provide them with, they'll just not accept it. Brother, in the Flat Earth documentary, they ran the experiment themselves without any intervention from normal people. They ran an experiment to prove the Earth was flat, proved it was round, and then just disregarded it. No matter what you do, you can't stop it. It's just choosing to believe it no matter what. You'd have to literally control their brain, which is an entirely different can of worms that it seems like Elon and shit wants to do with like microchips at some point, but until then, there's not much you can do to combat that kind of shit. The only conspiracy theory that actually disgusts me is Hyperborea. What the fuck is Hyperborea? Never even heard of that one. I don't know anything about this one. It's like Borea, but faster. Ah, okay. Yeah, the only conspiracy I believe in is Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, but I feel like that's not a conspiracy. That's just, everyone knows that. That's just the truth. Believing that he killed himself is kind of the conspiracy, really. Other than that, I don't think there's any other conspiracies I believe in. I'd have to really think. I don't think there's any other ones. Oh no, he's definitely dead, nuts. Jeffrey Epstein is 100% dead. He was murdered. No, absolutely. That man had so much shit on so many people, there was no way they were going to let him live. And then his suicide just so happened to be the craziest set of circumstances, which I guess they never even bothered to investigate, like, with the most high-profile pedophile case of all time. Yeah. Not suspicious at all. I'll have to check that out. That sounds fucking wacky, Arrow. Thanks for resub Minecraft. Wasn't the conspiracy that the CIA killed JFK proven true? Partly. Like, partially. They declassified a lot of the documents, and while a lot of the information is still redacted, it seems like at the very least, they knew he would be assassinated and didn't do anything. More facts that point towards the CIA than anywhere else. Yeah, true. Thanks, resub Chan and Gorilla. What's going on? Oh, we're just going over wacky conspiracies. I forgot how we got here. I forgot how we got on the conspiracy topic, but I just fucking love conspiracy theories, man. It's unhinged. Oh, that's right, the Maui space laser conspiracy that's brewing on Twitter. That's how we got here. No shot. In today's modern age, there's no chance Bigfoot's real because he would have been captured 50 times over on TikTok videos out the wazoo. Do you believe megalodons exist? No, I definitely think megalodons are extinct. But there's definitely going to be some wacky shit towards the bottom of the ocean. But I don't think it's going to be like megalodons or fucking kaiju or anything. Just wacky little deep sea creatures that make no sense. They did at some point. Well, yeah, they did, but like I said, extinct now. Thanks, resub Doge. You hear about the scientist that found coding in real life. You talking about life as a simulation theory? That's another wacky one. Thanks to the resub split. If it's a simulation, we would be the last in the chain of simulations, having not created our own yet. Interesting thought experiment, I guess. Hold on, quick text message. Sending a message to the architect letting him know that you're getting too deep. Playing any games tonight? Yeah, man. We're gonna do some Dark and Darker in a bit. I'm just hanging out for now and watching the end of the Alt 8, or Alt Top 8. Right now it's Grand Finals. Aquila versus DeBuzz. I'm just shooting the shit and going over wacky things.